The Indiana World War Memorial's story officially started in July of 1920, when a special session of the Indiana legislature authorized the creation of a board of trustees to guide the construction of a memorial to be dedicated to Indiana's war dead. The session donated 3 blocks already owned by the state in downtown Indianapolis for the memorial. The first block was St. Clair Park, located across North Street from the Indianapolis and Marion County libraries. The second was occupied by the Indiana School for the Blind, and the third was University Square, located across New York Street from the Federal Building. This special session also authorized the City of Indianapolis and Marion County to issue bonds in 1921 in order to purchase 2 remaining blocks for the envisioned 5-block Memorial Plaza, one of which was to be used as the future site of a Veterans Memorial Plaza. The other was to be for the Indiana World War Memorial itself. The purchase of these 2 blocks would complete a 5-block area in downtown Indianapolis that was to serve as the home for the memorial grounds. On April 19, 1923, a design submitted by the Ohio architectural firm Walker & Weeks was announced as the winner from 26 competing bids. Their design envisioned the Indiana World War Memorial and Veterans Memorial Plaza with an expansive landscaped mall. To accommodate the need for administrative space from organizations such as the American Legion, plans were drawn up to add 2 buildings to the north end of the plaza, as officials had decided to separate the memorial from such administrative functions. By December 1923, virtually all of the 5-block area was deeded to the Indiana World War Memorial Commission, which made it possible for construction to begin. First to be built was the original national headquarters for the American Legion on Meridian Street. The finished building was dedicated on June 17, 1925. In February 1926, the Indianapolis firm of E.C. Strathman Company was selected to build the foundation on which the Indiana World War Memorial would rest. 150 workmen were employed in this project, and as specified by the Indiana World War Memorial Commission and Governor McRae, war veterans received preference in hiring whenever possible. Construction of the Indiana World War Memorial's foundation required excavation to 20 feet below street level and had to accommodate dimensions spanning nearly 200 feet square. During construction, care was taken to leave 2 churches on the site undisturbed. These were the Second Presbyterian Church on the east and the First Baptist Church on the west. These churches were spared throughout construction of the Indiana World War Memorial and were not removed until 1960. Construction required that several buildings be relocated. Among them was the 6-story, £5 million Hague Hotel, which moved about 600 feet down Michigan Street, pulled by 2 teams of horses. Though no longer a hotel, it can still be seen today, about 1 block east of the memorial on Michigan Street. By October 1926, the Indiana World War Memorial's foundation was complete and ready for construction of the main superstructure. The Cleveland firm of Hunk & Conkey was selected as the contractor after a winning bid of $1,277,000. Construction continued with the initial brickwork on the completed foundation. In the distance, behind the Indiana World War Memorial's main entrance steps, the Soldiers and Sailors Monument can be seen. On the 4th of July, 1927, General John Black Jack Pershing, commander of the American Expeditionary Forces in the Great War, dedicated and set the Indiana World War Memorial cornerstone. By the end of 1929, the limestone statues crowning the memorial's magnificent Ionic columns were ready to be placed. Here, the 7th of 24 statues is being lowered into place on the north face of the memorial. These sculptures were the work of Henry Herring, noted New York artist, who also did the bronze Pro Patria statue which stands today on the south steps of the memorial. 6 statues are featured on each face of the memorial and represent courage and memory, peace and victory, and liberty and patriotism. While work on the main Indiana World War Memorial structure continued, construction began on Veterans Memorial Plaza, just across Michigan Street from the Indiana World War Memorial site. Another Indianapolis landmark, the nearby Scottish Rite Cathedral, located on the west side of Meridian Street, was also undergoing construction at this time. Also visible is the historic Francis Costigan Indiana School for the Blind. On each face of the plaza's 100-foot black granite obelisk, bas-relief bronze sculptures, also by Henry Herring, are featured. Knowledge, law, religion, and science. While the plaza construction was progressing, work continued unabated on the main structure of the Indiana World War Memorial. Extensions of the north and south stairways gave the memorial its broad approaches from Michigan and Vermont streets. By September 1929, the Veterans Memorial Plaza obelisk was complete. In this aerial view, the American Legion National Headquarters, the first building in the plaza, can be seen in the lower left. Veterans Memorial Plaza and its obelisk and fountain at center, and the Indiana World War Memorial at top right with its adjacent churches. Between Veterans Memorial Plaza and the American Legion Headquarters, the Francis Costigan Indiana School for the Blind remained. Demolition of the 1852 landmark began in October 1930 to permit excavation for the mall leading to the American Legion building. Here, the Veterans Memorial Plaza obelisk and Indiana World War Memorial can be seen in the background. Similarly, the St. Clair Park area, donated by the 1920 special session of the Indiana legislature, was prepared for the placing of a cenotaph memorial. The American Legion National Headquarters remained undisturbed. On November 11, 1932, the finished black marble cenotaph was dedicated to the memory of Indiana's war dead. At the foot of the monument, a plaque was placed honoring America's first casualty of the Great War, Corporal James Gresham of Evansville, Indiana, killed in France, November 3, 1917. With the 5-block Memorial Plaza envisioned 10 years earlier virtually complete, the Indiana World War Memorial was dedicated on Armistice Day, 1933. Today, the plaza still looks very much as it did in the 1923 artist's concept. The plaza has seen some changes, however. These include the 1948 addition of a second neoclassical building on the north end, and new monuments to Indiana's lost servicemen and women of World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. Throughout the innumerable trials and challenges of constructing this magnificent memorial plaza over the years, the goal remained unchanged: to honor the service and sacrifice of America's patriots. For more information on the Indiana War Memorial and all of the properties managed by the Indiana War Memorials Commission, please visit www.in.gov/IWM.